Hi, my name is Bryan. I'm normally, when I'm performing, I'm known as Bryan. I'm a performer and a busker in Singapore. Yeah. Mostly, I perform these things called levy wand, which is like two flying sticks, hula hoops. I'm sure everyone knows what hula hoops are. And then my main specialty is called sear wheel. It's this big giant wheel, and you stand inside and you do a bunch of tricks in it. Yeah. Wow, 3 years of coming to 4 years of circus at this point. Yeah, but at the same time, I've done art for a very long time now. So all the foundation that I've done led up to me learning circus. I would say maybe a bit faster than most people would, or your average person would, because I have all these backgrounds. Yeah, so I did wushu for 18 years. Then I did dance for about 6 years. So actually before that, I was trying to pursue a career in magic. So yeah, I did magic for about 6 years as well. Yeah, so then that didn't pan out very well because it was too expensive and there are too many good magicians out there. So then I found about circus, and then that's when I realized that circus is not very explored in Singapore yet at the time. So I decided to come in, and it's still not very explored anyway. So that's when I decided to learn circus, more of a business decision, but now it's definitely a passion. Grown past the business decision and became a passion for me. Yeah. Honestly, in my opinion, street performance is actually my most enjoyable stage by far. Like I think compared to all the other stages, like there's something very fun about the whole ad hoc idea of street performing, where you just appear, do a show, and everyone that joins is just very impromptu. It's their own decision to stay, and everyone has a good time. And then yeah, I just feel like the whole ad hoc idea, it's kind of like, what was that? It's kind of like those flash mobs. You know, they are so fun because it's unexpected. The most hardest thing to overcome was the confidence issue, especially when you have to talk about the money. Because in busking, we obviously do it most, well, half, right? We do it for the joy, but also we have to earn money from it, right? So there is a point in time during the show where I have to tell the audience that I'm doing this not only because it's a passion, but it's also because of my job. So that is when we need to talk about the money aspect of it, and it becomes a very, back then it was a very difficult topic for me to get into. It was like, oh man, I'm not used to asking for money. It's so awkward. Now I can do it, but back then I can't. Yeah, that was a huge challenge for me. Very unique opportunity, very scary in general. I mean, as an artist in Singapore, it's just very scary in general. Nothing is ever set in stone. There is no like Cirque du Soleil, or like there's no big show that pays you a year long contract where they have shows every week and people go watch every week. There's no demand for that. So I would say it's very scary. I think to any aspiring artist that watches this video, I would say just being a artist in Singapore in general is always going to be scary, but it is doable. And I think for the most part, when people ask me what I do, I feel very proud to say that I'm a performer, an artist full time, and yeah, especially as a performer, it's even probably, if you take artists and you separate into what you can do in the arts, especially in Singapore, performer is like one of the last things that anyone would say it's like, how to say, sustainable job. Yeah, so I do think I feel a huge sense of pride as a performer, but also a lot of gratitude for the audiences that make my shows possible. I've done things that I never thought I could before. You know, right now, this month I'm doing some shows in Macau, which is something that if you told me 2 years ago, wow, I don't think I've ever done, would be able to say that. I would say I'm probably maybe the second best busker in Singapore. So that's something I couldn't say like last year, and it took me a long time to get where I am. They always like to think it's all clowns and juggling. Only clowns and juggling. No. I think maybe, I do think people have a very hard time categorizing what circus is in general. My girlfriend puts it best, is that if you can't put art form into a category, it's probably best to throw it into circus. Cause yeah, I mean so it used to be in gymnastics, I guess, but I mean as its own, I don't think Levy Won is very hard to throw it under dance or what. Mostly prop manipulation is under circus in general. So people always like to think circus is just clowns and animals, and especially the older generation, they like to say, "What, use animals or all that." You know, then juggling, of course, the three main things that come to your head when you mention circus, right? So there's this whole other art form that we don't really realize. And honestly, even now, I'm still finding out, wow, there's this like circus sport I've never heard before. Wow, there's that circus sport I've never heard before. Yeah, circus is a big umbrella of art. Yeah. When you are walking on the streets of Orchard, everyone's just walking. So when someone stops and starts to do something stupid, all of them, yeah, they'll stand out, right? That's kind of how we do it. We kind of just stop when we start doing things that are like that are very attention seeking in a way lah. In a way, obviously we try not to make it attention seeking, but we do so. That's how we gather the crowd, and then then we try to do things that directly address a certain person in the crowd. And when that person laughs, everyone around the area laughs, and that's when you get that whole side on your side already. Then you just need to do it like 2 more times, 3 more times, depending on what kind of stage you're working on. I would say a lot of times comedy is the best way to go around it. When you make people laugh, you just feel better about it. At the same time, if you can grab someone's interest without using comedy, I think that's a lot stronger in some way. Yeah, but it's a lot of I would say a lot of face-to-face direct engaging with maybe one audience or 2 audience that also affects the crowd around them. Yeah, I definitely feel like I became more confident, and I definitely feel like I care less about what people think about me on the street and everything, or even in life in general. Because one of my golden rules when it came to busking that helped me overcome my confidence issue was that I always like to tell myself, these people, 99% of the audience will never see you again. Yeah. Or will probably forget you like in 3 weeks time or something, 2 weeks time. Yeah. So that's one way you can motivate yourself to put yourself on the street. Because so I would say I've become a lot more confident, and I think that's the biggest life story for me. It's just like it really made me into a more confident person in general. So yeah. And that's a huge thing. I think like confidence is key to like getting people on your side. My future goal as in busking would be to get more buskers into the scene, especially more like non-musicians. So more specialty acts, like especially dancers. I would like to see a street dance like team in busking. Cause when I went to London last year, there was like dancers, there were like parkour, free running, all the kind of flips over people. And I think there's so much potential in that, but Singaporeans in general are just very scared to explore busking. They think it's not a viable way to earn money, which I would say that's not true lah. Yeah, it's a very viable way to earn money, but it's also a very difficult journey. Yeah, and of course, if I could be, the best busker in Singapore, that would be nice.
I'm here at the Light Tonight Festival. Light Tonight 2024 has very kindly invited me here to do my show. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and I'll be here for 4 days. And yeah, it's been a blast, and hopefully it'll continue to be a blast. Yeah. Do it because it's fun. No, but for real, I think circus has this degree of difficulty that is just like very challenging in general. And I've been doing arts for a very long time, right? I think circus has the most potential to go a very, very long way, like far into your years lah. I think circus in general has the most like leeway where you can, if you, let's say you cannot do this, then you can transit to juggling. Juggling is an ageless prop. You can do it at any age. Circus is fun. Just join circus. It's great. Yeah.